What's up, guys? Kevin with Precision Service. Here I got an X-axis Waldrich lathe we got in here. The problem that we're having is obviously the screw had a ton of backlash in the thing. In the ends, you could see the Acme thread was nice and thick. In the center, it was like just skinny like a knife. So also what was going on here is we had to grind all the way surfaces. Well, off of this slide, you can look over here. This slide rides not only on the top, the dove, but also on the flat. So the key was to grind everything equally. So we found that the worst rail was 8.5 thousandths out. So we grind each and every axis to 8.5 thousandths. And then in regards to the dove here, we lost the dove. So we're gonna be adding Turcite to the bottom of this surface right here. We haven't done it yet. And the reason being is then we were back to centerline. You can see the finish on this thing. It looks really nice. Everything is zero. In order to get this thing, we actually had to flip this thing over, and on the bottom where this thing sits, it had to be hand scraped so we could put our parallels on it so it was able to sit flat. And then we had to put jacks on each end, and we had to adjust those to make sure that's naturally zero, or picking up the zero. So because we took 8.5 thousandths out, we came up with a good idea. On the cross slide, you can see that it's completely gouged and worn out. I'll bring it to this side too. And the slide that fits on top of here, which I'm not sure where it's at right now, is actually oversized to this surface. So we're gonna machine off 20 thousandths, and then we're gonna add 32 thousandths Turcite to the top of this thing. So then that way it adds us back to center line. Instead of putting material underneath here, which would work perfectly fine, but because we already had to take the step of machining it to make this look a lot nicer, we're just gonna do it that way to help you guys out. We'll machine it, and then we'll put it back on our weight grinder to get a nice finish. We'll grind flats and the doves, and then we might possibly have to do something on the doves, but we're not sure yet until we get it all lined up. But I just want to give you a heads up on this. This week we're going to be working on this slide, fitting that, making sure that's all trued up. Hopefully by Friday I'll have a better idea of where we're at with this job, but I definitely need to get that screw. Now we're thankful for the company to work weekends just to get that thing going. I'm expecting not this week, but next week for that to be finished up. Once I have that, I asked the customer, or the vendor, I'm sorry, these are the two bolt holes of where the screw actually bolts up to this slide surface. And so what he's doing is, when he's making me the nut housing, I'm gonna machine and thread and tap or bolt holes. So then that way I can get my center line perfectly, a lot easier that way. So, but stay tuned for another video, but the grinding is all finished up. That's completed. We're working on the compound right now. We'll get this machined and then start hand scraping all the surfaces. And then during this week as well, like it says, we will be putting new material on the dovetail here to get that back trued up again. And then once that's all said and done, we're gonna be working on the Gibs. So then that way you have full adjustment at that point. That's the last thing we do. But stay tuned for another video. Hopefully by Wednesday, Thursday, I'll get you some more updates. Thank you.